What is up, guys? Welcome to the Transparency. I do apologize for that cough. You guys, I got some stuff to say. All right. I tried to keep it in, but they went with the TikToker with the red hair on Dateline. I mean, come on. Wait. I got to see some receipts. I want to see Gio tagging where the girl with the red hair on TikTok talking about childbirthing hips, their date. I want to see those two next to each other. I want to see some text messages, Dateline. Come on. I mean, like, so number one, we were there geo tags? Were they by each other that day? What day was it? Did they have sex? I want some deets here. Give me some deets. But I said, I cannot believe that they put the girl with the red hair from TikTok, Hells Yeah, or something like, yeah, huh? With all those, yeah, y'all. Wow, man, she made Dateline. Hot damn. You guys, if you have not seen the Dateline, become a follower of that girl's TikTok. But I'm gonna try to get her on my show. I thought I want to see some receipts. I want to know. I want to know the dirty. Again, welcome to the Transparency. Again, this is Let's Talk About It, Dateline. Every couple minutes I heard, Bryan Kohberger is innocent until proven guilty. So Keith did a great job of reiterating that. Props to him for that. So I made my notes here because I watched it again here this evening with Bella. And I was like, let's run through this. So Peacock is streaming the Dateline episode. Let me see my peacock, cock, my peacock, cock. That's when I see that, the peacock. I'm fine with the whole, I think it was, I gotta drop the link though. Hold on one second. Let me do a little invite here. Just wild. Okay, so you guys know I pay attention, and zoom in on stuff. So I was like, oh gosh, press pause right there. I want to see the dates of this, when Bryan says he went to rehab. So, May 22nd, he writes, I'm in rehab. Well, normally you don't have your cell phone, or if you have a cell phone in rehab, you usually can't use it until I don't know, certain hours and stuff like that. Depending on what kind of rehab facility you're working. But I was paying attention to the next time that they talked, which was June 15th of the same year. So that was 2013. Bryan allegedly went to rehab. So about 10 years ago, due to his drug, marijuana and heroin, just totally skips everything else and just does the weed, and then it's like, I'm gonna just start shooting up some heroin. I wonder if he tried anything in between. I always like Keith Morrison. He seems nice. I think so too. I'm a fan of Keith. Okay. So we're going to talk about some of the things that they've said, and because I'm just curious, now Bryan Kohberger's family, there's a family source now that said that the family thought that Bryan was guilty and was talking over Christmas, meals, talking about, oh my God, Bryan, well, you lived in Pullman and you're just right down the road and you drive the white Elantra. we really need to consider that you killed all the 4 students. Like, talk about just saying that at Christmas dinner. And then, hey guys, let's take a little field trip out to his car and, check it out. I mean, who? I want to know who, because nobody has talked from the Kohberger side. Not the parents, not the sisters. No one's done like a sit down interview. And I think that they shouldn't. I wouldn't say a word, because it's just going to get twisted. But like, where did this come from? And then, I still got to go back to my girl with the red hair and the TikTok Tinder date. Wow. Who uses bleach to clean a car? When did they even see that? Then we're going to talk about the pullover on the highway. You have the FBI admitting that they were following him, that they lost him twice. You never even hear them ever say stuff like that. So now they weren't following him. They never lost him. And those were drug stops to see how people act and see if you want to search your car for drugs. Is that what I heard? I mean, I was pressing stop, rewind, play, stop, rewind. Ooh, Lana, what was that sound? That'd be my dryer. Lana, your laundry is dry. It's probably not, because those towels take forever. I gotta fluff them good. You've obviously never had a kid projectile mop in the car seat in the car. Well, that's just when it's time to get a new car there. Get yourself a new lease. Bleach eats interior of the car. You guys, don't you think that car would have already been cleaned out? Like 7 weeks. But hey, you know what? I'm just gonna start bleaching it over here in, in the Poconos. Also, don't know if you guys paid attention. Thought there was a little slip up there. The girl who was on, she says that how she got notified was she got a text message from a friend. I would like to know if she was involved with any of those snaps. But she got a text message from a friend. I would like to know who this friend was. But there's a lot of stuff going down on Snap. But she says she got a text message. Please don't stop with the laughs. You're awesome. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Okay. So these are my tops. Then we get to the panties in the car and the stuffing of the panties or taking the panties. You guys, why was that even on Dateline? Okay. They say it, that was 4 months before Bryan had ever even, got to the area. So why are you even putting that out there? It's almost like you're just making Moscow look like they have a bunch of like pervs running around. So the question is why would Dateline put that in their episode? That does not help the case of Bryan Kohberger being the man, and that would be like linked to him. Because at first I was going to give it some merit that if Bryan went there in March because he had that meeting, because he met with, Pullman to say, hey, I really want that position with the internship. Okay. Well, here they flat out say that he didn't get that. Where is that coming from? Because that has never been said by anyone, by law enforcement to anybody. Nobody's confirmed that. Nobody's confirmed that he did not work for the university or the police department in any capacity. That's never been confirmed or denied. So then they said that Bryan had an online interview. Well, I have the email of Bryan emailing and saying it was nice to meet you. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would ever say to somebody in an email that it was nice to meet you if I had an online interview. But then again, it's 2022. Maybe that's what people were saying. So, did he go to Washington in March? Okay. But based on this episode, they said that he had his interview online, which means not in person, which means that he was not in Washington. And then they show the panties happening in March. They said that the police haven't there's no linkage there. So doesn't that kind of just blow up the narrative of this sick perv being Bryan that did that? So you're basically saying that there's other sick pervs on Moscow's campus. Yeah, that's exactly what it means. So I just thought that I was like, wow, why are you even talking about this? Because it's not Bryan. Or even trying to make it seem like it is Bryan. So I thought that was just wild. I mean, thank God for these YouTubers going getting that body cam, man. Dateline sure made out. Oh, shit. I think, Plunder did that one. We did this stuff at the house. Yeah, I think Plunder got the panties. Yes, I don't know. I think the police looked at it as it was somebody was pulling a prank on the people that lived there or whatever. That's kind of like what the frats do to each other anyways. You got animals being skinned left and right, and nobody talks about that. And let's see, what else do we got? I'm surprised they didn't talk about when he got pulled over in Washington. He was actually right. There was no mention about him actually talking with the officer and that he was actually right. So, again, what is up, everybody? Members, thank you to all the new members, old members. Oh, this is news to me. I mean, I guess I just live in a bubble. Bryan is getting fan mail. Oh my God. Oh, what is wrong? I guess Ann Taylor is sorting through his fan mail and the 5 TBs of that's 5,000 hours of video. So, what's up, Boston? Seriously, fan mail, I guess. I don't even know. I cannot. I mean, how's that leaking out? Who's talking about Bryan's mail? I mean, I'm sure Ann Taylor's not putting that out there. So, who's coming forward with that information? Is Bryan? I mean, the guards. Who's saying that Bryan has his fan mail? I don't know. The mailman. Yeah. So, let's see what else I have written down here. See, I liked how they showed the kid's phone where it said BK, whatever and in parentheses bio. He must have met him in the bio class or something. I don't know. But I mean, I just can't get over the red-haired TikTok girl. I cannot believe that was on Dateline. There is no proof that is remotely even has happened. Like they didn't have her. They just had her TikTok. You know, the other people that they had on there, they had their like, they had them talking like as part of like the show. Well, here they just used her TikTok. And it was like, okay, well, did anybody vet this? And then he says, well, this is what alleged. He like kind of says it there at the end, you know, this girl claimed, this is what this girl claims. Well, you know how many people have claimed shit out here? And we're going to go with the red haired TikToker that claimed that she went, you know, met Bryan through Tinder. And I want to know where they went to dinner. I want to know these childbearing comments. I was like, I cannot believe it. I was just surprised that Dateline used that. So, I just don't think that, like, did the girl have red hair when she was on Tinder? I just don't see Bryan's type being somebody that would have like red hair. You know, not if he's like fixated with like blondes and stuff like that. I don't know. She said BK tried to touch her. Yeah, he like tried to tickle me. It was like he was being weird. I'm like, what? I don't know. How could she prove it? I would just say like, where'd you go to dinner? Do you have like, don't you text with somebody when you Tinder? I don't know. I've never been on Tinder. Is that like, wait, Tinder? Aren't there like messages? Is that the one where you swipe right? Wait, maybe I did make an account so I could like. What's the thing where you swipe right? Dateline is awesome. I love. They bring it. Dateline needs to stick to the. I like the ones where they do. You know, past cases. That's when they're at their best. She got pissed because he refused to pay her for the date. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the Papa Roger. We're gonna get to that. I mean, Papa Rogers is emailing me right now. So does that mean like Bryan is emailing me from prison? Yeah, Tender is swipe right. Okay, so then there is totally messages. They don't go away. She could totally produce this if she really went on a date with Bryan. I call bullshit. If it's the Tinder, if you can do Tinder, you like if you both swipe right, then you match, right? Something like that. Yeah, Daniel mentioned Tinder first as a possible connection. Curious to see if he ends up correct. Well, I would think that I would just want to see the redhead's profile and I want to see the text messages between her and Bryan. You did Tinder during COVID, Lana Banana. Yes, but I didn't like use it like the way that it's supposed to be used. I used it as a, you know, oh my God, look at this profile. Oh my God. You know, the funniest part was is during COVID, you're supposed to be isolating. You're not supposed to be like, you know, commingling and here people are just on Tinder with strangers. Yeah, you want to meet up? Yeah, come on over. Talk about why COVID was spreading. Well, then you didn't take a look at the title. The title says Dateline. Dateline. There's going to be lots of Emma and D coming up. Yeah, that's what I said. Marijuana to heroin, hard jump. And I just, you know, I'm in rehab. I mean, sometimes people just like say things to people just to get a rise out of them. So I'm curious. Like, we still haven't seen receipts on that. Like, oh, he wrote that. Okay, well, when people used to DM me, I'd write ridiculous shit. So, I don't know. They don't gotta explain anything to us. Who? Dateline? No, I'm just all about, you know, I don't even, I think that law enforcement, ex law enforcement, I mean, that's not that was fine for me with part of that show. Those are those people's beliefs. That's the way they profile. Totally, yes, awesome. That's not what I have any issues with. I was just shocked to see, um, well, the TikTok girl, the redhead. Um, what's her name? Does anybody know her name? Nobody knows her name. Um, Papa Rogers got some airtime. Um, I know that people are making a big deal about Papa Rogers talking about like the sheath. Well, if you're an advocate, like all these people that use knives and stuff like that, like I don't use knives, but um, to me, a knife sheath goes with like yeah. If you think that this was done with a knife, you keep your knife in a sheath, and for them to say exactly what they're looking for, they must have left the sheath because that would like indicate what knife it would be. So I guess I don't see the, oh my God, Papa Rogers made some, how did he know about this sheath? It's like, I think they even said it in the show. There's multiple people talking about the sheath. Her name is Red. If her name is Red, I will love it. Her name is not Cassie. Her real name is Haley. Is it Haley? Is the redhead Haley? That TikTok girl. Her real name is Haley. Oh, you're gonna have to mute that.
I know, I can't mute me.
Oh, there you go. Mute me. Oh, what's up, Drunk Turkey? I wanted to catch that comment. That TikTok girl had put up a picture of what she looked like when she went on the date with Kohberger, and she was blonde. Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Drunk Turkey. I muted. I was like, where is that coming from? Of 100 devices.
You.
I was listening on my way back home.
We have a Tinder name. Her name is Haley. I want to know if Haley wants to come on the show.
Is this the redhead?
Yes.
Okay, the fire engine red. Yeah.
Yes.
I think Haley should come and talk about how he tried to do her shoulders. Massage her shoulders. Hi, everybody.
Yes.
Happy Sunday.
Yes.
Okay, what literally, like, I think I just missed the last 5 minutes of what you were saying. I stopped when you were talking about.
Oh, I was just talking about all the different things of Dateline, the things that I thought were just like wow. And I think for me, like keeping on like the, obviously having the police or the ex-federal people, like that's normal for them to have people on like that. They're all like social media people, though. I feel like that's very strong in the media.
Yes, they're all very yes.
Yeah, but I was shocked about like the whole, the throwing in that TikToker.
I know you were.
Like, I just want some proof that you went on this date, because there should be some proof.
Do you think that they asked her to produce? Because remember, we listened to it.
Produce her childbearing hips, yeah.
Look at these, my childbearing. Yeah, that's a PJ Harvey song. But do you think that they asked her, like, can you produce that? Can you produce text messages between you two? What do you guys think?
I mean, they kind of used the other girl, like she produced some of the stuff, when they talked to the DMs, I guess.
Yes, but listen to this, right? Remember how they worded it?
Oh yeah, they didn't verify it. That's the way they worded it. 100. They said this is what this person is alleging. Yeah, they just basically let her go on that show as is. Oh, and this TikToker here, she claimed that she went on a Tinder date with Bryan.
Maybe he's a PJ Harvey fan. I mean, we don't know.
I'm sorry, but
I mean, look, you said this privately too. You're like, I'm sorry, she wouldn't. He's not like her.
Yeah, he's not her type. Oh, that's what Drunk Turkey says, that she showed that she had a blonde picture up though when he Tinder swiped with her. And he says, well, orders his K-bar off Amazon, drives his white car to the crime, takes his phone with him, leaves his shoes. Oh, wait, that's the other thing I want to talk about. In Dateline, they say like, oh, and then the cops go and they do the historical data and, voila, they talk about how it was a glory hole. And
Excuse me? Wait, what was a glory hole? No, that's not the term they used.
they use something like that.
Said
treasure trove. Treasure
So
trove,
different
glory hole,
from
it's
a
all the
glory
same.
hole. OMG. I was like, were we watching the same thing? Like, I didn't see a glory hole. What did you see?
It was treasure trove. Yeah, that's what Keith said.
Trove. Girl.
Treasure trove. Whoops. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about that
Yeah,
show.
I know what you were thinking about.
Then he also said that he got fired from the university. Like, wait, what? Well, then why isn't he taking all of his belongings with him?
I don't know. Did somebody just gift memberships?
I don't know. I can't see anything on this side.
Hold on, let me look. Oh my God, Michelle, thank you so much. So Michelle just gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you, Michelle. So yeah, that's why I hate this on this program. It doesn't show that.
No, I agree with you. It also doesn't. Yeah, I won't say what else it doesn't show, so we don't discourage it. But yes, keep doing that. But it does suck because we can't acknowledge it when we're up here.
Yeah, it's hard. I have to get like a private text message, and then sometimes I don't even see that. Yes, I did. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much.
So kind of you, Michelle.
That's awesome.
And congratulations to whoever got gifted by Michelle. You will
want
love
the proof
it.
He didn't? It's on my phone. He definitely wasn't fired. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's Dateline doing? Like, he didn't get fired. Like that's not true.
Well, there was 2 things that were blatantly not true. There was that, and Lana, did you tell them about the other thing?
Which thing?
The other thing Dateline said that blatantly was not true about the phone.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was just getting to that part. His phone never pinged during the murders because his phone was off.
I can go in and we could play a little bit of that part. I could try to find it. But
yeah, I think I have it memorized by now. So
okay, tell us.
I think it's going to be around the 1:30 to 1:40 time frame. It was right before they start talking about like when he's making it back, like when he makes it back to like Pennsylvania. Oh yeah, to start playing clips of that.
Well, it'd just be audio. I mean, if we show it.
Oh yeah, and then they say that he pinged again at the house at like 9:12. No, he pinged on a tower in Moscow that house uses. So like that's just another thing that's just not true. So I mean, but then again, then I listened to Bella talk, and she's just like, "Well, Lana, you know this case inside out. For the outside world, I was like, yeah, that's what makes it worse, in my opinion."
Finish your thought. They don't know what you're thinking in your head. You just said half of it.
Well, what do you mean? I just said that it really upsets me that this is going to such a mainstream audience, and how are you blatantly getting something wrong? So like, I just think that Dateline should correct that. Or if you're really saying that, then somebody's lying. Because if what you're saying right now is true, it just can't be because his phone was off. How was it pinging at the time of the murders? It was not.
Yeah, and I'm really disappointed in you guys. I'm no way trying. Dateline is a fantastic.
Yeah, Dateline rocks my box. Don't get that twisted. Okay, I watch Dateline every week. Okay, yeah. So if anybody's going to sit here and say I'm bashing Dateline, I love Dateline. Okay, I'm just saying I just happen to know this case, and so I could speak on. Okay, that is not true.
Yes, but see, here's the thing. I just didn't like those 2 blatant things. It's because we know the case so well that we're able to be like, and Lana will tell you, I play devil's advocate all the time. I was like, well, and I couldn't. I tried.
Yeah, Lana I was giving her hell. I was like, oh no, I don't want to hear it. That's not true.
You didn't see. You weren't being mean about it. You're hearing.
No, I wasn't being mean. I was just being like, God, fast forward this part.
You're like, no, rewind it. Hear it again.
Like, yeah, because I wanted to hear what redhead Haley had to say.
But yeah, you guys. So, but here's the thing. They also did it in a very professional way in terms of every segment, and this is probably for legal reasons. Every segment they said that he's innocent until proven guilty, which is good. and needed to be said. And it basically falls on discerning people to watch that and understand those things when you're dealing with the US justice system. That just because somebody is accused of something doesn't necessarily mean, and they're guilty. We need to wait until they go to trial and see everything that comes out. But I'm just
Mhm.
excited about the trial because it seems like there's going to be um, some great things in
Well,
there.
I'm interested to, they got 60 days to say after tomorrow if they're gonna, fire squad his ass.
Well, only fire squad is asked if they don't have the chemicals to
Yeah,
lethally
which
inject.
they probably won't.
Well, that's going to be in 20 years. At that point, we might be in a apocalypse, and there might be nothing available but bullets. Bullets
I
might
think
cost a
this is a death
million.
penalty case though in Idaho. I do think that this is. I mean, I think whoever did this, you sick son of a bitch, and I I
Yeah.
have no problem whatever what the family wants, and if that's death, then that's death. But everybody has their opinions about that. But I for people to out there, they're gonna say like, yeah, well, this is a death penalty case in Idaho. I mean, if this isn't, what isn't? I mean, I would think that the Vallow case was a death penalty case. Um, I mean, that
Yeah,
woman's sick.
Idaho's a little weird when it comes to things like you see how the Vallow case played out. Um, they're a little bit peculiar. They're also peculiar when it comes to drugs. Everyone around them can have drugs, but they can't. Hi, Boston.
Did Michelle give more memberships?
Wait, let me check. She might have. Look at Michelle saying 2 minutes left on match. What are we doing in 2 minutes, you
I
guys?
don't know what's in 2 minutes. I don't
I
know
don't
what's
know,
going on.
but she probably did gift. Yeah, okay. Texas Gigi, thank you so much. So Texas Gigi did one.
Oh, sweet.
Um,
You guys should
yeah,
have a gift off.
yes, Michelle gifted another one. Thank you so much,
I
Michelle.
matched
It's so
gift
generous.
memberships. Oh,
Oh my gosh, she did another one.
yay.
Hold on. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Why aren't
No,
like
there's a
so
bunch.
it doesn't see it on my
Michelle,
side.
Michelle, okay, so she did five, one, two, so she did eight total. Michelle, thank you so much. And then Texas Gigi did one. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Texas
see.
Gigi. And oh my gosh, Baby Boop did
Baby
two.
Boop.
Yes.
Nice.
You guys
Nice.
are so,
And the way that
this
you
is
get a
fun.
membership is I think when you make yourself known, do you have to type in chat or is it just if you're here watching you could possibly
No,
get it?
no. It's not even typing in chat. You could be completely silent, but you need to turn on gifts.
Okay.
And you might have to do that through your computer. I'm not entirely sure, but where it like has that money symbol to
It's a
give
gift
gifts.
off.
She gave another gift. Michelle, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys, I don't know what's
You got a
happening in two
gift.
minutes,
Everybody
but
gets a gift.
everyone, well, you guys are gonna love the members
Oh,
content.
baby boop. Oh, yay.
Yes, I
Look
just
at
said. I said she
everybody.
did two.
I'm just
Yes.
loving on everybody. I'm just love bombing the shit out of my crowd tonight.
This is the best chat because everybody is always so
They're
sweet
just
and generous.
fire.
Yes,
Yeah.
with the best mods.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I took some notes on Dateline. I did. I wanted to know what
Mhm.
they, had to say. And I was more interested to listen to like, okay, the psyche of it.
Mike
Like, yeah.
Droppin did one. Sorry to interrupt, but I think
Mm.
we need to acknowledge your amazing mod, Mike Droppin.
Mic
Just
drop
gifted,
in.
gifted, and you know what? And Michelle gifted another one because she said she'd match everyone.
Oh gosh, Lord, look out.
I
Um,
know you guys are bomb.
so yeah. But yeah, I wanted to hear what like the whole remember I've been saying it. How did you get to Bryan Kohberger? Like
Mhm.
how'd you get there? How'd you get there? Something that a new piece of information was dropped at noon. They started the tailgating when they went to that house, when they all left and went to the house. It was at noon that the one girl was saying that people came over. Um, According to Dateline, when the girls got back, Ethan and Xana were there, and the other, two survivors, they were there. And that basically the way that Dateline sees it, as far as their sources, that the killer being Bryan Kohberger, he could never have, you know, a girl like Kaylee or a girl like Maddie, and that one of those two was the target, that he went upstairs. Um, maybe he wasn't expecting, them to be in the same room, but killing them. But then on his way down, runs into Xana due to getting the DoorDash. And then
Not even getting, they said her ordering.
her getting her DoorDash. I mean, what do you mean ordering it?
Because we've always said received doesn't necessarily mean she ordered it, because we don't know that. We know she received a DoorDash, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying
what they said. Yeah.
The thing for me though is what doesn't make sense is that if Bryan's coming down the stairs, where those stairs are is nowhere near where Xana's room is. Okay. So when you would come down the stairs, you would then go right out to the kitchen, right to the side slider. There is no, so when Dylan says, he then came walking towards me, well, if he's coming down and he was just set on killing, his target, and ends up after killing both girls upstairs, when he comes down, how does he run into Xana? And then why wouldn't she just be killed where he ran into her? Which to me would be like the only place that you could run into her would be the kitchen if you entered that way and you're exiting that way. But how you're killing Ethan and Xana and they're in their room, that is totally on the other side of the house. Okay. Unless you're saying what Bryan came down the stairs, what did he get twisted all around and walk? You get what I'm trying to say? Like you would just come down the stairs and you would walk right out the slider. You would be interesting. You would not be going to anywhere near over there. So the other thing for me is that if you run into them, okay, then she would be killed. The only place that you would be able to run into her is if when you came down the stairs, she was coming up, okay, from getting her DoorDash.
Okay, so from the bottom floor, okay.
Yeah, so if she gets if she's coming up and walking up the steps, and then she sees him coming down the stairs, okay,
right,
and then she's like, like, oh my god, and then he like chases after her because she's running like to her room.
But the bag is where?
Well, the bag is in the kitchen. If it's the Jack in the Box, you know what I'm saying? But so to me, I mean, did you hear how all of this is happening? Like this wackest timing of stuff, though, like how everything would be like that. And so to me, that just doesn't make, that's a lot. That's a lot of, if I run into Xana, the only way that I would kill her wherever I ran into her, unless she's running to her room and then I'm following her, But I'm saying that would be happening in such like and then you have what's her name? Dylan doesn't hear any of this, she's opening up and closing her door. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't Bryan just proceed to go out the back slider?
Can we talk about that for a second though? Again, you're using logic, and we're not saying Bryan. So the killer is not a logical thinking human.
No, I'm talking about, this has nothing to do with logic. This has to do with a precise time. As soon as Bryan's coming down those stairs, Xana would be coming up. That didn't happen yet because they said that the DoorDash got there at 4. So that's going to be really important is when the DoorDash, because I'm trying to say that the only way that this would happen in terms of how they were saying it on Dateline.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay,
this is how they're saying it happened on Dateline.
Gotcha.
Okay. The only way that's impossible, in my opinion. It's impossible to say that. I think it was Jennifer Koffendorfer, and this is no knock on her, but I would just like to hear how she would explain this part of it, is he's upstairs, he kills the 2 girls, and he comes down the stairs. He's just then making a left and going out the slider to that. Like, I'm making a left, like you're just coming down the stairs and you go straight to the kitchen and then you go out the door.
But see, she's not the one that said that they just did.
Yeah, she's the one that said that she believes that when he came down, that she believes that either Maddie or
Yes, we're
Kaylee
the
was a target. So they
But
go
no,
upstairs.
but then did she just say like that
And then she
they
ran
happened
into
upon them?
Yes.
Because I thought that was Keith.
No,
Okay.
that when she came downstairs, or I'm sorry, when Bryan came downstairs from killing upstairs, that he ran into Xana. How is that possible?
Yeah. I don't.
just
It doesn't fit, especially if you put
unless she
DoorDash
was
in
okay,
there.
unless, and this is the other thing is if she was in the kitchen because she was placing her DoorDash bag there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if he would have again met her in the kitchen, okay, he
Mm-hmm.
kills her in the kitchen, and then he goes on his merry way out the door. Like I want to know how they end up in the bedroom, in Xana's bedroom, if you're, you know, running into him. That's gonna be my hang up. Because they said that he went in there with the intentions to only kill his target being Maddie or Kaylee.
Yeah,
Okay.
according to what they say.
Yeah, I'm just saying, according to
they
everything
messed
that
up a
the
little
Dateline
bit.
people,
Yeah.
they said that they said that people were that they were at that house, and just like how, okay, why they never really touched base on this. Why wasn't Dylan killed? Why wasn't Bethany killed?
Well,
Instead of answering that,
the profiler said it's because he would have been in a heightened state and he would have been going through the adrenaline rush and the adrenaline dump, and just he got something accomplished and like being high off of it, and he walked out. Was the thing for death?
yeah, but that's
Bethany. I'm sorry, Dylan. Bethany. Jeez. Dylan.
But he wasn't planning on killing Xana or Ethan. Okay, that's what they're saying. He was not planning on killing them. They were not his target either. And I said, okay, so then how does that happen? And their version of it to me, that would have to be Xana would have to be running and be running into her bedroom. And then so you're putting Xana and Ethan totally awake, okay? And nobody goes to reach for their phone, either one of those two, to call 911. You get what I'm trying to say? If I run into you and you then have to chase me because then I run into my room, because that's where their bodies were. Unless their bodies were moved, okay, they were both in that bedroom dead. So if I run into her, I would just kill her right then and there. And then,
But you're not homicidal. But yeah.
No, what do you think? What are you going to do? Just, he sees you, then you're just going to, what? She runs away. That's the only way that's possible. That, because they're saying if you're not going and looking for people, and that's what they're trying to say is that, so when you would have come downstairs, if you're not going to these other rooms to look for people because that you weren't planning on killing anybody else but them, that's the Dateline narrative. That basically everybody was in the wrong place at the wrong time because all Bryan wanted to do was kill one of those two girls upstairs. And he had no, this is according to Jen. This is what she said on Dateline. That, I mean, and this is a lot of, that's law enforcement. I think that this is the law enforcement narrative, is that one of those two girls upstairs was the target. And that that's why it was a targeted attack. And that the only reason that people weren't killed, or that the other two weren't killed, is because those other two weren't supposed to be killed either, but that they had encountered him.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
And my issue with that is that how do you encounter him and be killed where you were versus out in the kitchen or out in the living room? And
yeah, well, maybe Jennifer can tell us how she sees that happening, you know?
Yeah, I think that's just my point is that to the crime scene is going to disprove or prove that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also
as well as the order, obviously, whoever's, you know.
And that's what's great about Scott Roeder is that's something he does, and they bring people like Scott Roeder in to testify either for the defense or the prosecution as an expert witness to say this is the order of events and this is what I believe is a time frame in between the killings. So yes, we'll see all that in the trial.
She ran, he chased her to the room. Yes, that would entail that it was the perfect storm in terms of he's coming down the stairs at the same time that what though? That is she in the kitchen? Because then he'd have to like get past her some way, right? Or was she coming up from the door, getting the DoorDash? So I think that's all going to be really, really interesting when we get that whole timeline of when the DoorDash, because the DoorDashes, they keep a very strict record of that when they drop something off at your house.
100%. Also, we're going to get more of an insight as to who brought the DoorDash in. We don't even know. They're just speculating. Keith and Jennifer are speculating that Xana went down and picked up the DoorDash that she ordered. We don't even know any of that, you guys. And, and
100, it's all speculation.
And right now, what we're talking about specifically is the way Jennifer said it on Dateline. We're not talking about what we believe happened or anything.
Yeah.
This is just according to that narrative, just to make it very clear.
And then I have a huge, hard problem believing that if Xana and Ethan were, like, if they do collide and Xana runs towards her room, and she's screaming, right? And she's in there, so she runs. I mean, Ethan's in there. Unless one of them is totally impaired to the point that they were passed out, then Bryan Kohberger is taking on 2 versus 1 in that room.
Well, the suspect did.
Well, the suspect, yes.
2 versus 1.
Well, this is the Dateline narrative, which is the Dateline narrative is that Bryan, in my opinion, that's how the Dateline narrative was, because they had nobody on there that was saying that Bryan didn't do this. You know what I mean?
No, they just kept saying, which they needed to. They just kept saying that he's innocent until proven guilty. But yes, they were saying he fits the profile, which a lot of law enforcement believe, because there are profiles written for this exact thing. The whole behavioral sciences unit in the FBI was created for this thing. And they say he marks it off to a T from what they know. And we'll know more at trial. We'll know what all that consists of, what all the social media consists of, what all the handshakes of his phone consists of.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the
yes,
phones,
Mandy Joe.
The phones with all of this. The phones with all of this.
Yeah. And it's really important to also keep in mind that it might be a minute before we actually hear the trial. And so if the gag order stays in place, we're going to be going on a lot of speculation, and we need to keep that in mind and say things like, in our opinion, or we don't know things. So,
well, if he didn't, to me, this part would not be speculation.
What part?
Dylan says that he saw, that she saw him, because then she opens it up for a third time. Okay. And that there he is, clad in all black. Well, he must have believed that when he came down the stairs, according to the Dateline narrative, that Bryan had to believe that this person saw him, meaning Xana or Ethan, you know what I mean? Because Bethany or Dylan saw him and he didn't kill Dylan. You know what I mean? He just kept on walking right by.
Yeah.
So basically Bryan didn't know that he was seen.
We don't know. We'll find out.
In a way we kind of do know, because if he wasn't intending on killing Xana or Ethan and he did, it was because he was seen. That's what their narrative is. So then I'm saying you have to continue with that narrative, which is then he must have not have known that Dylan saw him through this crack. Okay.
And
because otherwise she'd be dead too.
But we don't even know if it's a crack.
I'm just saying if you're going off of their narrative as to the targets are upstairs, one of those 2 girls, that's their narrative that they went with on Dateline, who they chose to have as the representatives of their narrative of why they, And I have no, like, hey, that's their right to, hey, we profiled, we did this is who we were going after. It was an incel type. Okay, awesome, perfect. That's awesome. My question would be is then how does it play out that why not when he comes down the stairs, you're saying that would have been the perfect storm then. He has to run into Xana or Ethan into a terms of like where they would have to be running back to their bedroom to bring him back there because he would have no reason to go back to that bedroom then because it's like he would just be coming down the stairs, and if you know that house, you just literally go left and you're walking maybe 6 steps to get through to the outside to the slider, you know, like there's no reason to go anywhere to that other side of that house where Ethan and Xana were killed. They were killed in that bedroom. How does Bryan Kohberger get into that bedroom? And if they were not a target? Because like I said, the other girls were unharmed.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about hell. Now think about this. That is a hell of a commotion for Dylan on that same floor to hear somebody coming down the stairs. First of all, somebody going up the stairs, then somebody coming down the stairs. Unless they were walking very, very quietly. You know what I mean? I don't know. Was he in a hurry to leave? Was he walking very quietly? But then he chases somebody back over to, you know, Xana and Ethan's room. Now you got that 2-on-1 awake situation where I'm thinking, oh my God, like you're screaming bloody murder. I mean, literally, that's what you're screaming. And how that is just not like, that's not a party sound. That is like, yeah. But again, this is everything I'm saying here. This is based off of me watching Dateline and how they're perceiving it that one of the targets was either Kaylee or Xana, or I'm sorry, Kaylee or Maddie.
It wasn't even they perceiving it. It was just a segment with Jennifer Coffindaffer and Keith Morrison. But yeah, I mean, that's what they presented.
Well, no, they were perceiving that this person was a peeping Tom. That this person was stalking somebody. Okay. That they had been over there for a multitude of times, and that they even thought that they went into the house at one point.
Yes,
and that
the
they
Cold
knew,
Case Foundation person said that. Cooper, I believe, is his name.
They believed that they went into that house when possibly people weren't home and was just walking around and just checking out whose rooms are whose.
When they were home, the person's house that they say the suspect or Bryan went into that wasn't home was that girl who reported that someone broke into her home, the Washington State University student. Someone broke into her home, rearranged her items, and that's why I think they brought in that bizarre.
Wait, what? Panties. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the panties person? That was just the car.
No. The house.
Oh, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
But that's the only time they said. That's the only time that they said that it was somebody wasn't home that he went into the house. What Cooper was saying.
What they said about the partying at the 1122 King is that they believed while they were having these parties
that he was there. Yes, not empty.
But no. But when the girls were not there though, because they talk about it specifically to say the girls not being there all the time. They had to try to get a hold of Maddie that one night. They make it known that they believe that he could have easily slipped in because he's watching them leave and people are still partying at this house. So he can just easily walk in the place because all the people that lived there exited. But there's still a party going on there.
Yes, still
a party. But see, my issue with that is that there's not a single person that we have heard that has said that they've seen him through, and that's going through one of the frat guys and all the talks from the fraternities and sororities. Well, and that's who was hanging out there.
Even Union, who they interviewed on Dateline, had never seen him before. And she, on their social media, is a very big figure who has hung out with these girls on numerous occasions. And she'd never seen BK. But devil's advocate is if you're a stalker, the Union, the fraternity sister, the sorority girl that was on, the Asian, the really pretty Asian.
Oh, yeah. Nobody has seen this man.
But being a good stalker requires you to go unseen. So there's
absolutely.
And so we can't just ignore that portion of it as well. It's like you're not going to be announcing this whole thing like, hey, I'm here to spy on you. We don't know, innocent until proven guilty, but there's two sides to this. I just can't wait till the trial so we get everything out. Can we talk about his partner? His lab partner?
Well, I want to talk about the girl that didn't call the police and instead called Bryan Kohberger to come over and install cameras. Like, what?
Well, she said, Dateline said she said because nothing was stolen. She didn't call the police. But like,
what is wrong with this area not calling the police?
I don't know.
I mean, are the police that frowned upon to call?
I don't know.
I mean, I got people over here on the internet calling the police to say that I said somebody's name on the internet.
I know. She's talking about it. Her First Amendment rights.
I can say whoever fucking name I want on the internet. Get over it. Jesus. Oh my God. Calling the FBI, calling the police, but people's houses are getting broken into and no one's calling. Let's call Bryan. Like, Bryan. So then he is like that, what, trustworthy? He's that like handy dandy. Why would anybody call Bryan to come over? You know, I just got my house broken into. I guess like maybe like holy shit, you're never gonna believe this. I just got home. I think my house, like there's shit everywhere. And then the first thing that I think once I would have called somebody and said that, they'd have been like, Lana, call the police. Did you call the police?
Well, that's not what Bryan said. Bryan's like, let me come over and check this out. Okay, you need to
let me come over, check it out, and we're gonna put some cameras in.
Inside your house.
Yeah. And again, there's no receipts on any of this. Who's this broad? Can she just, I get it if she's a victim and
you're like, can you
come house? You can come on my channel and just, I'm curious on if this is even true.
You don't have to have your real voice on here. She will distort it.
Yeah, we'll totally, we'll make you sound like, I don't know.
Can we drop Lana's email in the chat?
So is the Camera Bryan story even true? Who knows? I have no idea. I don't even know if it's true. I just cannot believe that they put the panties on Dateline. I bet you Lynn. I bet you Lynn Fox. Stop. I bet you Lynn Fox had such a hard time watching that Dateline.
Well, no, she's gonna have a hard time now because you're saying panties. I think you need to stop saying panties.
Everyone's getting their panties twisted.
Well, the panties were moved from inside her suitcase to what, the cup holder?
I thought the panties were just straight up stolen.
No. Did you not hear? Like, this is someone who wants control. Whoever did this, okay? So they took
so then why don't they just take the touch DNA off the panties?
No, listen.
Take it to the lab.
Did you not hear the police tell her we've had stolen cars? Don't worry about it. Like, I'm sorry, this is not a stolen car issue. Like, somebody just messed. And I get it because they're in a college town. It's a sorority house. I understand. They think someoe's messing around.
Yeah, in the cup holder and the footprint on the seat, which then she got in the car and she's like, I think I may have ruined the footprint.
No, I mean, come on, you guys. Like, this would freak me out, right?
Wouldn't someone just take the panties with them?
Okay, stop being logical. This is someone trying to show control.
I'm just talking about, don't most guys want the panties?
No, he's trying to show control. He's saying everything you have out that you wanted out, I'm going to put in your suitcase. Things in your suitcase that are personal to you, like your panties, I'm going to take and display. That is bizarre.
Well, maybe they had a bunch of holes in them to embarrass her.
Holes in what? Panties?
Her panties. I don't know. I know that Bryan didn't do this. So then you're like, that's just what I think is crazy, is that Bryan wasn't even in that. He's not physically there.
Well, so we don't know. It was the second, when it was reported, it was March 2nd of 2022. And in Dateline, we were waiting for this, did say
the police have not linked Bryan to the panties.
And we don't know if he was there. This is a whole 4 months before he was there, that we have proof that he was there. They did say that, which I'm glad that they said that. Now, it's, again, to the discerning audience to determine if you're going to just go with the narrative or if you're going to be like innocent until proven guilty. And that falls on us as citizens of this country to keep that in mind.
Hey there, True Crime Cafe. What's good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stop being logical, Lana.
Yeah,
I bet you maybe they were crotchless panties. I don't even know.
stop it. OMG, really? Like this poor chick. First of all,
I
plunges
mean,
into
can
these
you imagine
amazing
calling the
jobs.
police though and saying, "Hey, I need you to come over here because my panties are now in my cup holder." And
I know.
like, what?
Well, give her props for calling the cops because the other
Yeah, at least
person didn't.
yeah. And then she's over here like, well, I mean, we just got this Ring camera, but it wasn't installed yet, right?
Ugh,
And so like
too
nothing was
bad.
on it, but like,
Mic drop it. Not.
and nobody even knew we were ever going to get that panties surveillance.
Okay, this is what I was about to say. Bless Paula's heart. She didn't show her face. She blurred her face, and then here's Dateline.
And then here's Dateline putting her on blast.
Well, that's just nice, I guess. But I mean, it's public.
I know. I just love Paula. Paula's like, gosh, we are going to blur her out.
Bless her.
We're going to. Here's Dateline, full exposure.
If I was Paula, I'd be like, I just went through all this trouble, but at least my conscience is clear, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. What else? I just like.
I really want to talk about. I'm just imagine being his lab partner, you guys. So what happens is he has this lab partner. Dr. Latina, thank you. Oh
gosh, she cracks up. Like Dateline said that the girl said that Bryan said, and like Dateline said that like he tickled a date, and then Dateline said like BK is not linked to the panties in the cup holder.
Dr. L.
Yes. I mean, that was just the most hearsay I've ever seen on Dateline, I think.
Well, and you're a big Dateline fan. If anyone doesn't know
I love Dateline,
Lana,
and I will never not like. Dateline blows away 48 hours.
And 2020, she refuses to watch.
I love
something.
No, I'm a 2020 person.
No, but you don't watch 48 Hours. But you do watch Dateline like
religiously.
Crazy, religious.
Yeah, 2020. I mean, if I'm forced to watch 48 Hours because it's something that like I really want to see, but it's by accident if I have to watch them.
By accident. Oops.
I wake up and my phone's playing it and I'm like, what is this shit?
It's just like, see, unethical pro tips, guys. If you're going to commit something, leave your phone on YouTube playing at home.
The ID channel, when they started doing the Disappeared, the best program the ID's ever put out.
I know you love that.
The
you
Disappeared.
Guys, love is the Disappeared. Like I can't get into that like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so please talk about this dude. Okay, so he starts this podcast on TikTok, not knowing it's Bryan at the time. So he's just over here talking like how Lana is. Like, imagine, okay, you have a podcast and like you're talking about this murder, and then they're like,
he's like, oh my god, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I did a couple of these podcasts, and like, I had this awesome psych person on. And I just thought it was like the greatest thing ever. And then poof, oh my god, it's my lab partner, Bryan. I know that guy. It's Bryan Kohberger.
How do I know this guy?
How do I know this guy? Oh god, he was my lab partner.
In bio, and his phone literally says Bryan Kohberger from bio.
And I had his phone number, and but see, like he came with some receipts. Like, here, this is his number. He was my partner.
Mm-hmm.
They interviewed him.
But they interviewed him. They didn't interview the
they interviewed him.
Yes.
So,
Duck.
But yeah, I would be like, if I was that kid, I'd be like, you got to be kidding me. Mm-hmm. This, you're expecting somebody to get arrested in like Idaho, Washington, right there. First of all, somebody's getting arrested in PA, and then it's my, it's Bryan.
It's my lab partner who I took pictures of that we all looked and said, oh my god, he's right-handed, because we saw him holding a pen. Like, that guy took the picture of those pictures. I love it.
That guy is still pissed I got a C-. That's funny. I will say this. I did learn this because I was trying to put together this timeline for Bryan, and he did a ton of his school like online. So I said that that's what I thought happened. Well, if Dateline's accurate in the reporting with that, after when he graduated from DeSales, so he he did his online work, and they said they were going to come back to that. And I don't know if they did. Did they end up coming back to, because they were trying to say, like, where was he during those 2 years that he was doing, his online work to get his, what was it, his master's? And then from that, he went,
I mean, they only came back to it to say he graduated and that he took courses online because it hit COVID time. I mean, I don't know how much they came back to it.
They really didn't come back to it because they were trying to come back to the fact of what was he doing during that time? Was he committing murders?
Maybe, who knows? We don't know. Trial's going to be amazing. Just sticking to that.
I'm a huge Dateline fan, but that had to be the worst coverage on the story yet. It sure was. I just thought that it was rushed for some reason. I thought it was.
I do too. I got that.
I felt like it was a rushed episode. But I mean, it's not going to make me watch Date. Like I love everything about the program, but now I have to say that it does make me, when you know a case and you know some things, when you hear the Dateline version, it's like, okay, well, also nobody wants to ever ruffle any feathers. But I guess they did try to reach out to the family to say, like, if you guys wanted to say something, but there was just no, usually Dateline has a pretty good job about, like, they'll at least try to, like, test some things like, hey, well, didn't you have some strong concerns about the fact that 911 wasn't called for that many hours? They didn't do that. And that's normally like a Dateline thing to do, is that they'll say, but weren't you, and I get it. They can't talk to anybody in law enforcement that's on the case. They can't, there's a lot of things that they can't do. But to even ask one of the people that would have been your fluffer up there, that's, this is their narrative, just to say, was there any, I mean,
they had a
we just seen that the girls were scared, or just at least say something so they can combat that a little bit, I guess. So there's just, that's exactly what I said. It was totally not a normal episode. That was my definition. That was totally not a normal episode.
Hi, Cheek Antique.
I've never seen Dateline use people from social media that they never interviewed and just put something on and press play. Because I question whether or not that they ever went on a date. And if they did, God bless. But I only question it because
it's not.
There's no proof. I'm allowed to question it.
Boy. But there was a few things they got wrong, and I feel that added to it feeling rushed. Things that were very simple to clarify in editing. But I just saw Mama Hen 87, who we love so much, say, remember, this was edited after the grand jury, which is true.
They did. It was really just quick. It wasn't a hardcore edit. It was just quick. Like, why didn't they have the Idaho Statesman guy in there?
Oh, Fixler?
Yeah, I think they should have had him in there.
Maybe Fixler.
Like, they should have had like some Moscow blood up in that.
Kevin Fixler, did you turn them down?
Maybe he did, but I don't know.
We don't know.
I know that somebody in Beaver wouldn't have. They would have said, let me help do this and take all your money.
Well, how come PSP didn't sit up there?
Well, I don't think people can say that they're not part of the gag, but I don't understand why they wouldn't be.
I don't know. I mean, it's just interesting. Several members of his family went out to check his car.
Who? Bullshit.
But no, you tell me who.
Who's several of his members? Like who? Who are these members of these families? Are you talking about like the mom, the dad, the two sisters? Like they were just doing
3 or more, right?
I guess, yeah, because it's not a couple. I don't know. I don't know where that came from, though.
It's a throuple from their source.
Well,
they have a source.
Well, who's this family source that says that the family thought that Bryan was the killer? I mean, come on. That's some hardcore. That's a bomb to drop.
Mm-hmm.
I better see that in court.
We may.
Oh my God. Yeah, at Christmas on December 24th, Christmas Eve, we were all over at the Kohbergers because they always throw the party. Oh my God, Bryan was wearing these gloves the whole time, singing all these Christmas carols. Then his family was like, oh, keep him occupied. We're going to go check the car because we think Bryan killed everybody. So we're going to go check this car. And even though he's like OCD to be like, it's just like spotless. I mean, even though I flew out there as the dad, and I mean, there was nothing weird going on. I mean, his apartment was very sparse or whatever, but like, I mean, he's Bryan. He doesn't have shit to begin with in his place. It's all vegan food. Like, looks like cat lives there.
What, that a cat
like-
cats eat meat? They eat fish.
I mean, is this what happened at Christmas dinner? I don't think that it did. I mean,
When he gets up to put his gloves on, they're like, "Listen, Dad, Bryan's acting weird. He has a white
when he
Elantra,
goes to take a dump, okay,
and he only
we're
lives
gonna
10 minutes
we're gonna
away.
go out to check that Elantra.
Screw the dump. It's like when he does his gloves, his weird glove fixation. OMG, you guys, our brother is bizarre.
I mean, can you imagine Bryan though? Like, if you're just like being so open about it, Bryan would be like, "Wait, are you guys serious? You think what are you talking about?" Well, yeah, you have the white Elantra car. Yeah, they're looking for like a 2011, 2013 or something like that. I have a 2015. Like, what? Like, what?
We will see. That'll be all really interesting.
I can't imagine this conversation. Like, and then them being like, Bryan, we totally think you did it. Like, you were such
Do you
a psychopath.
think they really told him?
You were such an incel. Like, everything that they're saying about who they think the killer is, you fit that, you sick son of a bitch.
We walked in and you were doing weird things with a doll when you were 12, Bryan. We know you. I mean, I don't think they told him, though. I think that they just said it to the dad, and the dad was like, no, N-O. You know, that's what they reported.
Well, what Dateline's reporting is that their source is saying that at family dinner,
during the holidays.
Yeah, during the holidays, that the family believed that Bryan Kohberger was the killer.
Bryan came home a little different. He started wearing gloves around the house. I mean, hey, you guys, like, if that's true, that's kind of freaky.
And then and then also, we don't know if we can believe this. Like, hey, let's see the body cam of him separating his. I just want to see the body cam of him separating his trash.
I know, because
with his gloves.
But oh my gosh, you know that's like freaky. Like, even if the sister is even saying it
and putting it in plastic baggies, and hey,
it's
even
bizarre.
The sister thinks that.
If that's true, OMG, creepy. Ugh.
But like, I mean, and then how would this just now be breaking? Who's Dateline talking to?
A source. We don't know.
I mean, News Nation couldn't even break that shit, but Dateline, come on, man.
I know.
Like, I bet you Banfield was pissed when she heard that.
Banfield was probably like,
Banfield was probably like, damn it, Bryan. How is Dateline reporting this right now? Who is talking in that family? I need you to get your ass in PA. My ratings are down because you blew it. And everybody knows I love Banfield, so hopefully she's chuckling at that. Yeah, can you imagine that?
Yes, we have a new member. Thank you so much for coming to the family, Carrie.
That even made Banfield mad. I just want to know. I want to know. And how the hell is Keith Morrison pulling these? I mean, how much more do we got to pay these people? Oh shit!
It was interesting, you guys. There's definitely did feel rushed. Lana's right. There was. But I mean, that's what these things are. They're basically like news magazine shows. That's what they're referred to.
Same here, Bryan.
Who's going to crash on a couch?
Banfield.
I don't think she's used to couches, guys.
Yes, Drelatina. I was taken back after watching it. I agree. I saw Drelatina's her one of her social media posts, and it was, she's basically like taking a stand. She's just like, in all the years, like, I mean, she's a professional and she deals in the facts, and just to hear like this source or that source or this or whatever, and that there was just no receipts, no proof of anything, and no mention either of the fact that there was the shooting that took out the vet. That wasn't even talked about in the Dateline with Brett Kopaka's, dude, that's something that you need to talk about, because that's just another thing that happened during this crazy, wild 7 weeks that people just want to push and brush under the rug. And um,
But they could do like a second episode where they do talk about that. That's opening up another hour. We were 2 hours. It's like a 2 hour episode. I mean, jeez. It was
I feel
like,
like out of
wow.
that 2 hour episode, the best part, or um, my favorite part was them talking about, I think, the fact that they that they were so that they just pulled over Bryan just because like it was not the FBI pulling him
Yeah,
over.
no, 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 no. But we knew that. Okay, we knew that. We've been told that. But tell everybody who didn't watch what the actual. This was like. Wait, what? Tell them.
What they what they said that was drugs.
Well, they were doing this drug thing like in that area. Well, see, John kind of had said to us that they like if there's accident reports
He gets pulled over in a 10-minute, like twice in 10
twice
minutes.
that he was acting probably erratic in his
And then
driving
he was
and
like speeding and getting behind people or doing something like that was like,
putting cars between him and the cops. And so it was erratic, and they had to pull him over to put eyes on him and make sure he wasn't on drugs.
yeah. And then when they pulled him over, they were just trying to like see how he would react. And then what they were trying to pay attention to is like, when you say that you're not going to give somebody a ticket, it's do they like, Jen was saying, well, does somebody like ease up at that point? Because then like it's everyone's always tense until you hear the words, okay, we're hey, I'm not going to give you a ticket. They then want to check your body language out for like how you respond after that point. But at that point, I'd be like, wait, dude, I just got pulled over 10 minutes ago. Why are you pulling me over again? It's like tense me up or nothing. And it's like then they're trying to see like, oh, if the person's acting a certain way, we should consider checking this car for drugs. And it's like, well, how do you get to that point that you have probable cause for that? You know what I mean? Like, explain that to me. And all they wanted to talk about is, well, Bryan's dad is a perfect example of how you should just be relaxed after you don't hear that you're getting a ticket. Well, I think Bryan's dad's a friggin' moron.
Why?
Like, he's over there just like, just the cop doesn't even. He's like, oh yeah, we just got a text alert now that the place just got shut up at WSU.
He's
And
like, I don't even know where that is. Sorry.
And everybody's totally misconstruing what he's saying because he's not wrong. Everyone's like, why is he saying that? Nobody got shot. It was a quadruple murder. It's like, yeah, somebody did get shot, and his name is Bryan Kohberger, and that's the alert that would have gotten sent through if Bryan has his phone number on something. You know what I mean?
No. Tell them how. Okay, no way at that point is Bryan not on their radar. I mean, because we already heard that the FBI.
But they said that he wasn't on their radar in that episode, and I'm like, what in the world are they talking about?
I know.
Like that's just wild.
That was like, okay, guys, like something is wrong with your reporting. This is very bizarre from you guys. My computer might die, so I'm going to mute while I go plug in.
Yeah, well, I got things to do, so I might just end my live.
Okay, so if this just ends and I just cut out, then bye.
You're fine. I was just trying to keep it right around like the hour mark. I know that people like to come back to it and like to just listen to about an hour. So Dateline didn't even read the PCA. I mean, I'm sure they did. And see, I love Dateline. In fact, I'm going to probably watch 2 before I go to bed tonight. But I just think, wow, you know how many people are going to see that episode? Wow, the jury pool. It's just, hey, we have this gag order, but let's get mad at all the YouTubers for talking about anything, or the TikTokers or whatever, but we can just put it on mainstream media. I just and have it's just wild. It died, Elo. It died. It's okay. We'll get you back on here. I guess tomorrow there's a potential that some stuff could be unsealed tomorrow. That is a potential. I also want to make it very clear that the way that this works with that there is a camera in the courtroom. Um, Court TV got the pool. They got the bid to have the camera. So how it works is that Court TV will have their camera in there. They'll have their audio in there for tomorrow. They cannot air it live. Okay. After it is done, though, of the live the hearing, then Court TV can then put it out. Um, and then we can all, stream from there. So that's how that works. But and for the record, we were in the media pool. We just didn't get picked. So thanks to Bella's always on top of that. But we were in the media pool. We're in all the media pools. We have Moscow on speed dial. We are. So, and actually, like, I mean, it's going to go to somebody that's, bigger and stronger and what have you. But as far as the capabilities, but yeah, so Court TV won the pool for this. They will be videotaping it, audio, everything. And then after it is complete, it is over, then they can go ahead. The deal is that they can go ahead and release it. And then that's where we can all then, and it's like they can't copyright strike you for, showing it. So, Lana, you are big and strong. Never doubt yourself. I'm just talking about my pockets, girl. Oh, I'm big and strong. They just got some heavy pockets. Yes, they can't live transmit. That's correct. So when I think I already have my thumbnail up for tomorrow. We'll be having some discussions, and then as soon as it's available, I know that Bella will be on with me. At least that's the plan. Hopefully her computer didn't die forever. So, but that's how that works. So anybody telling you out there that it is going to be, that you're going to be able to watch it live, that's not true. It's impossible. So the courtroom will know before, the public knows, and just how quickly Court TV gets it out there. Judge might change that to live. Let's see how it goes. I doubt it. But then again, it's this case, so who knows? Sure. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, so definitely come back, join us tomorrow. What we there is a chance though that they can make some stuff that got sealed as far as everything to do with the secret grand jury stuff can start getting unsealed. So be aware of that. You're going to hear him say either guilty or not guilty. And then I'm curious to know if they're going to talk about the gag order and how that's going to work. But I foresee that there could be a chance that it gets, that gets nipped. But we'll see. I am blocked. Nope, you're not. So, again, remember, no preliminary hearing coming up in June. The grand jury indicted Bryan Kohberger, and then tomorrow is the arraignment, and we'll be over here. So come out and join us. And everybody sleep well tonight. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for all of the super stickers, super chats, all the member for member purchases out there. Me and Bella were talking about it. We're building a nice, a members base here. So I really want to start doing my weekly members only live for an hour. And I'm really like leaning towards the whole, Sunday evening. So, but yeah, again, thank you guys. And we will see you tomorrow. Take care until then. Bye-bye now. Thank you, mods. Thank you, members. Thank you, subs. Thank you, Dateline. I'm gonna go watch a couple episodes. Don't worry, you still got me as a supporter.